Tutorial Tuesday time, everybody, where I teach you something cool. Check it out. Alright boys, scenario. You're on a date with a girl and she says, show me a card trick, but do it in a flashy, cool way like nothing I've ever seen before. And you know just what to do because you've watched this tutorial. So you take out your deck of cards, you show her some sick one-handed cuts, and then you tell her to pick a card. She can pick anything. In this case, she picks the 6 of diamonds. Good choice for a first date. Of course, you put it in the middle, you give it a few cuts. Hell, you can even just give it the old overhand shuffle of doom. And then in that moment, you say, girl, I'm gonna find that card with just one hand. Check it out. I can cut directly into the middle and cut to one card. And with any luck, it's the 6 of diamonds. And then boom! She falls in love with you instantly, but you're not ready to be tied down because you just learned how to do Daryl's hot shot. Alright boys, in this video I'm going to be teaching you the routine that I just did at the start there. It's a super versatile utility move, the hot shot, but also you're going to learn the double undercut and also the overhand shuffle all in this video. So that's pretty cool, eh? Now guys, if you're not already, make sure that you smash like, okay, and subscribe, because 44% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed, which means I could have an additional 6,000 subscribers if each of you just hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, and it also means that I could become famous. Well, not really, I could just have more subscribers on YouTube. Yay! Also, a quick shout out to my street magician dudes. That's the people who are the members of this channel. Nicola Mazea, Bear Magic 2002, and Jake Grower. You guys are absolute champions and I appreciate it. And if you want to become a member, you should do it. I'm going to be doing a weekly live stream where I just hang out. You can be present or not. Either way, you'll be able to watch it. I'm just going to teach some really cool stuff that I can't teach for the general public, if you know what I'm saying. The good stuff. But anyway, guys, with all that said and done, let's dive into tutorial view. Alright guys, here we are in tutorial view. Now the cards I'm using are the RJ Warriors. If you are interested, some people are interested in knowing. RJ Warriors, baby. Nice deck. So I'm going to be teaching this in 3 parts. 1 is the double undercut. 2 is the overhand false shuffle that I used. And number 3 will be the hot shot. Daryl's beautiful hot shot. If you want to learn anything in specific, you can of course skip to it. I recommend you learn all of it though, because all of it is useful. Alright guys, to do the double undercut is actually super easy. It's barely an inconvenience. In order to do it, what I do is I take the card, I use my thumb to lift up a block of cards, and then I place the card in that block. It genuinely goes in there. So in this case, their selection is this 7 of spades. I lift up a block, I place it in there, and then to push it in, what I do is I press down on that card. By pressing down on the card as you push it in, what's going to happen is the deck will actually lever open and give you this natural break for you to hold onto. And now this bottommost packet, their selection is on the top of that bottommost packet that's being held separate from the topmost packet. This is called a thumb break. So I'm just holding that in place with my thumb. All I do is I take half of these bottom cards, I move them to the top, and then I take the rest of the bottom cards and I place them on the top, which amazingly brings their card to the top of the deck. If you want to control it to the bottom, it's exactly the same, except when you push it in, you're going to pull up, okay? This will bring the packet up, and then you're going to re-grip, maintaining that break, and now that card is on the bottom of the topmost packet. So when you execute the double undercut, the card now ends up on the bottom of the deck. And that is how you do the double undercut to control the card to the top or to the bottom. It's literally that easy, and I recommend that you take the time to learn it and learn it well, because even now, after all these years of doing magic, I still use the double undercut frequently. It's just a very nice way to control a card. Alright, now that you're a master of card control, let's do the false overhand shuffle. Looks like this. You can keep control of the top or the bottom stock, totally up to you. Now again, this is actually a super easy move to do. Try not to overthink it, but it is a great convincer after you execute something like the double undercut and then you follow it up with this shuffle, because it just looks so fair. It's not overhandled, it's just a very fair way to control the cards. Now once you've controlled the selected card to the bottom, in order to execute the false shuffle, all you're going to be doing is using the pads of your fingers. So firstly, you need to know how to do an overhand shuffle. If you don't know, here's a quick run through. Hold the cards end to end like this, and essentially what you're going to do is just release the pressure at the top of the deck here. I kind of roll my thumb back, which lets a few cards fall from the top. I let those fall into my hand. Okay, they're going to lever back. I let a chunk fall, and then so on until the shuffle is complete. Now to make it a false shuffle or a stock control shuffle or whatever, all you're going to do is with the pads of your fingers, instead of letting the first few cards fall, you're actually going to peel using the pads of your thumb and your index finger, or your thumb and your middle finger, or whatever. Basically what happens is the cards slide out like this, then you execute the shuffle exactly as you would normally. And by doing this, you always retain that bottom card no matter what. You can do this as many times as you want, and it just looks very fair and very clean. It's best to have the top of the deck facing your spectator so as to avoid them seeing this peel, and if you hold it like this, it couldn't look any more fair if you tried. How easy was that, man? And now that you guys are masters of controls and false shuffles, it's time to learn the coup de grace. Drum roll, please. Alright, here it is, the hot shot, a super awesome way to produce a playing card. Now to execute it, you'll have to pay close attention to the grip. You'll notice from top to bottom, I have my pointer at the top, pinky at the bottom. These two fingers are just sort of providing stabilization, as well as the thumb on the opposite side. The deck is held about 45 degrees from parallel to the floor, and to start it off, all I do is I lift up a portion of the cards. About half, I would say. I use my thumb and my two middle fingers here to assist in rotating that portion around. And you'll notice that I start by twisting it on my ring finger and my thumb until this finger can reach around, and this allows me to now re-grip it like so. So now this packet is being stabilized between my ring finger, middle finger, and index finger. The thumb works its way to the back, so I can rotate it a little bit further until essentially you have this kind of L shape with the cards. From here, you're going to be able to rely on these three fingers to keep it steady, and my thumb's going to work around to the side, where now the index finger and the thumb will allow me to pivot this top packet. It's in a position where if I pull down on this bottom packet with my pinky, I'll be able to actually clear that top packet and place it underneath, and I'll have my finger naturally curled in there. Now when I extend my finger that's curled between the two packets, it's going to strip out one card just like so. And from here, I then extend my middle finger up to about the corner of this card, and by pressing up, that card will flick out. So done to speed, it looks something like this. I lift up about half, I rotate it, I slowly work it around until it gets to here, I bring my thumb around to this side, it's going to rotate the entire packet. I pull down on this bottom packet with my pinky, so that this packet is being held between my pinky and the palm of my hand like so. This packet then comes underneath, flick out the card, and then when I press up, that card will flick out. Now the easiest way to catch the card is with a nice flat hand. The card will just kind of coast and fall onto your hand. Obviously you're going to have to learn how to control it, but that just comes with practice. Now always remember, as I do the hot shot, the bottom card is the one that's being produced. So as I go through the moves, it'll naturally end up being that bottom card that shoots out every single time. And that's all she wrote.
Enchanté.